Spirit Ashes are the undisputed easy mode of Elden Ring, even when buff cycling, Night Comet, and Bleed exist. They're something that spits in the face of every true FromSoft gamer, robbing them of the experience of the true difficulty the game was meant to have. Thankfully, when FromSoft was developing Nightreign, they took all the Spirit Ashes away and gave them to one character and then made them even better. If it ain't broken, there's no reason to Revenant the wheel. To watch these runs live, follow us on Twitch. You can even play with us. I'm always reaching out to chat for people to play with. Join the Patreon to support the channel. That puts you in our Discord, where you can hit up the Evening Showers channel and link up with some other Nightfarers. That's what the chat is for. Don't be gross. Finally, check out Tulok the Cardbarian to watch our Magic the Gathering content. Now, let's get started with a real family gal. Hey, we gotta get views somehow, okay? I'm hoping this kind of helps the algorithm find it. We're in here with Bluebird and Brett and also a Silver Scarab immediately. That means we should get good drops. Good old Revenant starts with a weird fist weapon that makes ghost claws, but is actually a fist weapon, I think. That's what I was told. And a seal that's useless. I mean, it's got a healing spell, but rejection is a wasted slot. I would genuinely prefer if I could hit L1 and just bonk people with the seal directly. Some Crystallians get got, and then it's Holy Church time with our family. For those unfamiliar, we have 3 family members. Helen is a page. She's fast and great at getting into business. Frederick is the best. He's a big old pumpkin head without the pumpkin, and just puts out a considerable amount of damage and stance pressure. Sebastian ends up being the hardest to use, in my opinion. Despite his massive size and damage, he doesn't move. Moving is important, like moving into the castle basement to fight a grafted scion that downs us immediately. They got red eyes, they hit harder. Thankfully, we've gotten some decent seals, and then get one with Dickus of Light. With a wholly weak boss, we are set for the run. Dickus is particularly great for Revenant, since unlike the Recluse, she does not have a reliable way to recover her FP, so the low FP cost is pretty cherry. Nothing but fire from the Fire Cathedral. Who could have seen that one coming? A Depraved Perfumer is barely an enemy, but they put a boss health bar on it. I think they should put the boss health bar on the page. The page is harder than the Perfumer. Whatever. I'll take it. We get more physical defense. Oh hey, maybe worth noting, the other spell on our golden seal is Grail's Roar. That lowers enemy defenses, letting us really pump the damage out with a fancy frisbee, make quick work of these demi-humans. The heroes of Zamor are very smart because they hide one of their members and make us run around forever. What the fuck? Hello? This is our run right now. Okay, no, I'm making the call. If we don't find it on our way out, we're just leaving. It's not worth it to just run around in a circle not knowing where this hole is. Unfortunately, we have Crystallians in our Everjail, another set of Crystallians, and our spells do basically no stance pressure. Big bummer. Good old Draconic Tree Sentinel basically downs everyone in one hit, so hey, don't get hit. We wait till he's looking at Sebastian, then hit the Roar to make him die faster. Another tower, another Crystallian. This is just a very solid run. Heading to bosses, killing them, moving on, never spending too much time in one fight, and it's another Crystallian?
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Seriously though, this is just so blessed. They dropped a Red Wolf right next to the Everjail. It's like they just want us to win. We get improved stance pressure, which should make our Dickus go from tickling everyone to like forcefully tickling, like when the fingers poke a little too hard. The Misbegotten Mob gives us some beautiful spell upgrades as the storm closes in. We really only have time to hit an Abductor Virgin and then patiently wait for the storm to end, but that's fine. We had nothing left to do because we kind of already did it. Perfumers and pages in a mob can only mean one thing: tree sentinels, I guess. And those horse boys won't sit still for our spells. Annoying. I've got more whiffs than a fart convention. I'd imagine people are there to smell the farts. Why else would you go to a fart convention? I mean, maybe you're the person who is farting, but if you're going to a fart convention, you have to be at least okay with the smell of a fart. Gladius time. We open the best way possible.
To the roar.
Then throw this dog some frisbees. It works great. Honestly, maybe even better when they break apart, since 3 dogs means 3 hitboxes. I didn't realize it was weak to holy when I fought it with the Recluse, but wow, does getting some consistent holy damage make a huge difference. Just like a healthy breakfast can make a big difference in your day, which is why I start my mornings with a bowl of today's sponsor, Magic Spoon. Folks, when I wake up in the morning and I need to get something to eat, it can be a struggle. I'm tired and I don't really want to do anything. Cereal is a great option. Magic Spoon is the best option for a morning cereal. That's because Magic Spoon is not loaded with sugar. Look, I just turned 31, and if I have a ton of sugar, I crash hard, like an hour later, and I just go back to bed. Magic Spoon has no added sugar. It's also great for gains with 13 to 14 grams of protein per serving, and only 4 to 5 grams of net carbs as well. That means you're getting long-lasting energy and protein, not a delayed sugar crash. Magic Spoon also makes delicious treats. These are just little bars that you can eat throughout the day if you're feeling hungry and don't want something that's gonna destroy your diet. They got 11 to 12 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and 1 to 2 net carbs per bar. And they're really good. When I'm gaming, if I can feel myself getting a little salty towards the game, I know I gotta eat something, and these Magic Spoon treats are perfect. They also come in a ton of flavors. I personally like the peanut butter and frosted varieties, but I tried the fruity, I tried the chocolate. They're great too. Haven't had a bad flavor of Magic Spoon yet. You can order directly from their website and use offer code Tulok for $5 off your first order, or you can get it on Amazon or at your local grocery store. I would ask that you use my offer code though, because that helps me out too. And Magic Spoon is so confident that you're going to love their cereal that they offer a 100% happiness guarantee. If you're unhappy with it, they will refund your money. No questions asked. So click the link in the description or scan the QR code or go to magicspoon.com/Tulok for $5 off your first order. Again, link in the description, QR code on screen, or magicspoon.com/Tulok for $5 off your first order. Now, let's get back to that Revenant. Something fun happened with this one. Enough people queued up that there was a second group on our password, meaning...
A race? He's a race! I hope I win.
We've got Helix and Packet, two names I would never make a joke about. He licks these ice cream cones and loves to pack it in his lunch. Important note for the crit with the claws, she does a little chin swipe, which is so girly pop. Revenant is very Megan-pilled. You're telling me gay men would not stand her hitting the Megan dance?
Look out nice. Angry eyes won't look from him, can paralyze with.
From the Everjail, we get a goddamn Dragonkin soldier and miss it with the flame sling because spells are still not great all the time. More importantly though, our map has a mountain. Day one doesn't matter. Tomorrow is mountain, and the mountain do what Nintendo don't. Sometimes you get a reward you think doesn't matter because hey, they didn't give you anything good. So you just take improved stance breaking potential as a Revenant. But the game knows.
That's a surprise tool that can help us later.
Someone wanted a smithing too, so we hit a cave and grab a glaive, the Knight Rider glaive. It's got the good charge dart 2 on the halberds, and you can always ditch your starting weapon since it doesn't have any buffs. This one had a buff on it. I forgot to check it while watching the VOD. I'm sure it does something. Want to see me beat the Holy Cathedral? Literally a 1-second boss fight. Want to see me do it again? Hey, with our Knight's Cavalry glaive, might as well take on the cavalry. They really make this poor girl get her cardio in, which is mean because she doesn't have a heart or any internal organs. Once they lose their horsepower, they're pretty easy. We get increased damage after a critical hit, and yeah, sure, the Revenant's gonna get so many stance breaks and critical hits. There's a Royal Knight camp right where we ended the previous day, and it gives us reduced FP consumption. Actually very helpful, considering our only method of recovering magic is Starlight Shards. Blood Ruins, we melt the Sanguine Noble. I think that's just Helix on Duchess, or Duchess in general. Duchess just melts shit. Then it's time for us to become the Mississippi Queen, if you know what I mean. That song is by Mountain. We're going up a mountain. Hey, now you know what I mean. We have a few spells that are great at hitting tiny dragon faces and get the other dragon later. I don't know if Gaping Magoo is considered a dragon. I think it is. Trolls get trolled. Trolls, right? Or are they Yetis? Giants? They may be giants. After picking up the mountain buff to Frostbite, we are back to fully bully this dragon, and hey, we even get to use our ult. It's fine, honestly. Maybe not my favorite ult, probably one of my least favorite ults, for reasons we'll maybe discuss a little bit later when things aren't moving so fast. But that doesn't matter now, because I'm Queen. America's Hammer? They buffed it and put a shockwave on every R2. It's the hammer slammer and it slams every time you slam the hammer. Also, not sure if you know this, but the stance breaking on the weapon art here is already fucking nuts. So earlier when we got improved stance pressure, yeah, we get to hammer everything. Except the Ancient Dragon, it doesn't get stance broken, but it never does. Those things just don't work. Adele, I hope you're ready. It's hammer time. I would listen to a cover of Adele doing hammer time. I would listen to Adele cover just about anything. Big Adele fan here. Technically it's weak to poison, but after someone else has poison, we just get between its legs and
You just mashing it.
we bring the hammer down like a professional nutcracker, and we kinda don't stop. When we run out of magic, we just eat a Starlight Shard and get back to smashing. The Ash of War is literally called Stance Breaker. That statement was fact-checked by real America Hammer patriots. Easiest boss fight of my life. The legendary weapons in this game are so goddamn fun. 2 for 2 so far. No losses yet. Let's keep the good times going. Sentient Pest is such an easy boss to set up for. You just need to find fire. There are so many fire spells in the game and most of them are mediocre to find. This time we have Taiji and Virgin Abductor. The name got censored and I don't know, it's a boss in the game with the words switched around. I just feel like maybe this one doesn't need to be censored. Maybe, especially with 6-letter words, we only censor certain ones so that people don't get very concerned when they see a 6-letter name get censored in their chat. We pretty quickly get Flamesling, which would be fine, but definitely hoping for something a little better. Demi-Human out on the water, they might as well just hand me 10,000 runes and call it a day. Red Main Knights are probably my least favorite camp encounter. I just hate that one of them is up a tower. It's annoying, but I rotted it. So even though I was running away with the storm, we still get the win. Yeah, I replaced our basic weapon pretty early with a rotten crystal spear. Rot's just pretty good all the time, and spears are a whole bunch of all right. Are they great? Not really. Are they bad? Not really. A whole bunch of all right. But you know what's greater than a spear? A great spear. Siluria's tree is so good, we can kind of just solo a whole group of Banished Knights. It's my favorite castle encounter. They're just so free, and you get so many rewards and runes so fast. If you can't hit the mountain, hopefully you have some Banished Knights in the castle. I got a little too greedy and tried to grab a quick Fort Knight while the storm was closing in without realizing the guys were right behind me. That's fine. We can grab those runes tomorrow. Death isn't a big deal, it's merely an inconvenience. Centipede Demon looks so much cooler when you can actually fucking see it. I've had some people whining that they changed the designs of the Dark Souls bosses, so hey Corey, can you color correct this to be all red? I'm talking highlights red, maxed out. Midtones red, maxed out. Shadows red, maxed out. Greens and blues, crank them down. Just hold it for like 3 seconds.
What's going on in there?
We just hit the woe a few times and then run into the storm for our runes. Always run into the storm after the boss is dead. You got flasks, get off your ass. With our runes recovered and a stone sword key in our inventory, it looks like everyone just scattered to the wind like the end of an Avengers movie. Guys, I don't know if you noticed, but shit tends to go south when you split up. Talking to the Avengers, our group did fine. It's a lot less stressful as Revenant because I always just have 3 friends. Or, sorry,
I don't have friends. I got family.
Golden Hippo is weak to fire. We've been specifically finding fire upgrades. Even a piece of nothing like the Flame Sling can deal huge chunks of Hippo health with each hit. Now Flame Chariot is a good flame camp. No towers to climb, just chariots to climb, and that's so fun. Really would like to find a better fire spell. Flame Sling is fine, but
Does it come in black?
after a holy church, yes it does. We do a little intentional party splitting, sending one person ahead to open the Everjail while the rest of us bully the Misbegotten. Looks like we left them alone with a Crucible Knight, and hey, tree on tree violence, until I realized Black Flame Ball was going to deal 10% of the health bar with each hit, so we switched to that. One last tower to climb. Wow, am I playing a Ubisoft game or something? We get slimes for our mob, which means it's boss time, and we're fighting a Dragonkin soldier. Got flame fall upon them, and apparently if you space it right, it's really good. Or consider Black Flame Ball. It's just better. I think I mentioned it before, but percentile damage is nerfed in this game. Kind of has to be, otherwise bosses would die so fast, like they do in vanilla. Still, when bosses have more health to balance for 3 players, percentile damage is just pretty great. Somewhere along the way, we get a seal with Scouring Black Flame too. Yeah, okay. don't need it. The ball is fine, but I use Noster and his cockroach wife to see if there are any major differences. Not that I can tell. So I just throw a lot of gray balls. It looks like lemonparty.com, who has not sponsored us. I'm just a fan. We almost died, but as we're downed, Taiji pulls through. That's 3 first try wins. Am I about to Iron Man this shit? Ooh, good pun. Really good pun, me. Sometimes you gotta pat yourself on the back, then explain the joke for people who forgot that the 4th boss on the list is Maris, the sleep boss. So, rest, like, better than all the rest, because I won't rest, because I won't sleep. Anyway, we start off going to the wrong part of the Holy Church for seals. That's my bad, but at least we got a stone sword key. Okay, I got a stone sword key. Where are the seals? I thought the seals were... No, the seals are down here in the Oracle Church. Hang on, sorry everybody. Sorry everybody, I thought it was the Golem Church, my bad. My bad. I love the Revenant memes in the community that she's a little feral gremlin, carries the biggest weapons, and I think the Spike Great Shield fits that pretty well. Our average alien encounter is a Dragonkin soldier, and like, really? Level 2 and they give us this shit? Give me Melania. I want a challenge. We get 2 stance breaks really fast because of our amazing claws, and Nocti hitting the Falcon Punch, one of those 2, probably our amazing claws. Level 5 before the storm starts coming in. Can't complain about that. To be totally honest, we're in the early stage of being pretty worthless. I literally tried to hit a Sanguine Noble with the shield, but hey, now we got Starfists. Finally, we get some seals from the Mausoleum Knight Church, and hey, why don't I call the big churches mausoleums? Because they aren't that. I'm gonna go with Cathedral. Maybe other creators are calling it different things, but I am here for the beginning of this game this time, and I'm going to do my damnedest to contribute to the lexicon and expected rule set. I will be damned if we have another All Remembrances category become the standard instead of a much more fun All Great Runes. Against the Royal Revenant, I tried to hurt it with Urgent Heal. I mentioned this moment in the Recluse run, but here it is in practice. Again, I could just be wrong and Urgent Heal never hurt them. The castle is trolls, and they do love to troll. This is the worst version of the castle by far, since no matter what troll you deal with, another troll can hit you with the pots. Splitting up is basically mandatory, but splitting up makes you fight a troll and 5 wind knights at the same time. That's also not fun. Still, level 8 before the first night mob, I can't complain. And we have a Gavel of Haima. This is the first time I've ever cast it. Is it faster than I thought it was? Oh well, not actually using it. Revenant doesn't have that great of intelligence. It's best to hard focus on faith. Stupidly, we use up all of our FP on the mob, leaving us with nothing but the Spike Fist for the Gargoyle. Gremlin mode go, bite some ankles. And of course, summon our family members. The family is by far the strongest primary ability. Staff of the Avatar drops, so yeah, Tiny Girl, Big Hammer. That's the strat. Jesus. I feel like I see more family heads than I do on incest porn sites. What? It's weapon that drops a lot, and I said more often, so, 1 is more than 0. That's good, right? 1 Scouring Black Flame basically kills all of the Bubble Boys, and then we get Honed Bolt on a seal. We have Lightning, and thankfully, Maris isn't as ridiculous as Fulgor in terms of being hit with the lightning spells. A Lightning Whip will give us a consistent lightning option for when we run out of FP. We get to practice our Honed Bolts against some Onyx lords. Wait, oh, hold on. Onyx is a ground type. This should not work. Well, just like Pikachu, we'll cheat and make it effective anyway. For the Erdtree Avatar, each of our Scouring Flame hits does like 5% of the total health, so as long as Delcan and Nocti don't stand still, we got this, and they don't. Apparently, they also cleared out a mine while I was looking at seals or something. Crazy. Even more crazy. Excuse me? Y'all serious? Alright. No, bet. Let's go for it. Yeah, we're gonna fight a whole Everjail boss inside the storm. Y'all nasty. Y'all nasty. Y'all some nasty wabbits. Good lord. Y'all some filthy boys. Then we do the same thing against a storm on the Abductor Virgin. You're nasty. To save our FP for the boss, I am whipping the mob into shape. Then we run out of FP really fast. Oh well, whip is good against horses. It just kind of stun locks them. And then we all come together to bully the main tree sentinel. Isn't that nice? It's not, it's bullying. Maris time. I'm mostly hitting that lightning spear, but occasionally a honed bolt. Everyone got together to buy me Starlight Shard. That was so nice of them. But halfway through I switched to the whip, which is much slower, but I have to be ready for when it drops the nuke tiers or we're all gonna die. Well, I got the first one. I didn't get the second one, but that's fine. We didn't die. Big faith, big lightning, big first try win. We're 4 for 4. An equilibrious beast definitely won't cause us any problems. The Iron Man run continues. It took us 4 runs to find Frenzy. Whoops. We got a Tog and a TTYYBB, some new friends to help us grab some new wins. Standard first camp clean, followed by a desperate scavenging for the right seal. Nothing in the first cathedral, just a little rot breath. And a mausoleum knight that won't stop teleporting. Hey, that's all they can do. There's another fire cathedral nearby, and hey, Flame of Frenzy! Okay, so we should definitely do Volcano on day 2. Because if we do Volcano on day 2, I can put Legendary onto my seal that has Flame of Frenzy on it. Now, am I ever going to be able to get that spell off in the fight? I guess now what I should look for is stuff that says boosted or less likely to be targeted. I don't think Frenzied Burst is in the game. Dude just spoiled the whole run. Damn. I've got to practice hitting Flame of Frenzy because I've never loved this one. It works best if you look at the enemy's toes and then blast on them. Oh wow, it's a Miyazaki self-insert spell. Yeah, Frenzy Burst is the one I would prefer. I would prefer Magic Sniper over Magic Shotgun, but beggars can't be choosers.
2 seconds later.
Look, sometimes there's good stuff in here. Oh, wait. Never mind. Never mind. Which one can we bail on? That one. Frenzied Burst instead! Okay. We cannot throw this run. Testing it against the Crystallion up top.
That's a lot of damage.
And against the Golden Hippo. From downtown! Let's go! It's not even long enough. It's not long enough, you son of a bitch. His charge, not the laser. This thing will blast into next week. There's a bell-bearing hunter in the castle basement, and folks, I think they made him wrong. Why does he have more health than the goddamn Elden Beast? Dude, they put grafted scions down here. They put Black Knife assassins down here by themselves. It's like a patch of grass in Pokemon that has a Metapod and a Giratina. Oh well, we lose a level, go back and grab it, and end up level 5 for the first night boss, with no magic left either. But I got a pumpkin flail, and you know what? It works great. We have bleed. Obviously, our executor is rocking some bleed, and the raider takes the aggro. So we're pretty much set. Revenge time. We're killing this bell-bearing hunter if it's the last thing we do. It one-shot our raider at level 7. Never mind. We bail and hit the volcano. It hits us back. Falling Star Beast is here not playing nice. But once we all lock in, it's at least better than the bell-bearing hunter. You know, the guy who sounds you with a drill the size of a water wiggle. Yeah, it's better than that. Volcano's extra bosses just ain't as nice as the mountain bosses. The other options of Valiant Gargoyle and a bunch of lava. Yuck. I'm definitely also worse at navigating this area, but eventually we find the fire prelates that are blocking the progress. Lightning bolts are great for that, since I suspect they might resist fire for some reason. We make it all the way to the bottom with a big chunky magma worm, pretty ridiculous stance pressure. But once we run out of magic, we just gotta hit it with a basic god-slaying greatsword. Storm is coming up. We need to get this buff and max out our frenzy seal. Then catch a ride and fly out with a magical bird. Crucible Knight at the end. It's one of the easiest bosses for us because that second hippo, it's pretty weak to fire. I'll take that one on. That's pretty good damage. 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 Not to brag or anything, but it dies before the Crucible Knight, even though it spawned in when the Crucible Knight was at half staff. We're also out of magic, so I guess it's God Slayer time. Very cool to end it with a critical hit. Heading into the boss, I can confirm we are less likely to be targeted. Then we get as many Starlight Shards as we can. I take the deal for cut bars at the start and buff stats later, and then start spamming. Like, Oh boy, just wow, we really did some spamming. Occasionally we run away, the few times we draw aggro, the one time we drew aggro one time. The spell goes so far that as long as we're on high ground, we can pretty much just spam it forever. How long does this debuff last? There we go. And that's more FP for more spam. Yeah, we get hit with the madness, can't cast anymore. Too bad. Pop the ult, save our buddy one time. Then it's done. So much easier. I mean, like, literally infinitely easier with Frenzied Burst. Like, easiest boss I've done so far with the Revenant, now that I had Frenzied Burst. Yeah, that really feels like, did you get Frenzied Burst or not? We did. That's neat. Also, people say that when you take the deal with the Equilibrious Beast with Libra, that it buffs Libra. That's not true. There's one that buffs Libra, but the rest of them are just like, trade this for that, and it says this for that. You don't buff Libra unless you take the thing that says, I am buffing Libra to also buff myself. Clarifying that. Anyway, horse.
My little pony, my little pony.
First rewards are not great. See what we got. Common jar. Alluring pot. Oh, I should have taken the jar talisman. That would have done 4 damage instead of 1. Abductor Virgin House gives us a little flame sling, but more importantly, a second stone sword key. Though flame sling is pretty great for Dr. Wormface, can't complain about that. First stone sword gives us Crucible Knight. That goes down pretty easily, especially because Wormface gave us Lightning Bolt, which is pretty much all we need for the rest of the run. Got a little lost, so Packet Racer and Paradox kind of just handled most of the Banished Knight camp by themselves. I'm here for the Mausoleum Knight, though. More Everjail fun. It's a bunch of Misbegotten followed by a field boss, Misbegotten. Both of them give us more runes from defeated enemies. Call me the first wedding anniversary because I'm all about that paper today. That's the paper anniversary. If you're married, try and check in on that. Tree Spear is a decent melee option for the Revenant. It does scale a little bit with Faith, and you do need a melee weapon for her since you're probably going to run out of FP during a boss fight. We're looking at another Wormface for our boss, but this one really puts out the Death Blight. I've seen people go down on that boss unexpectedly. He must have insane riz, or you're just curious what that mouth do, so you do your mouth to get that mouth to do what that mouth do to find out what that mouth do. Not totally sure what I'm saying either here. Hey, it's Magma Worm on day 2. We get the Dragon Cum Onion Seal, and that's some good seals we have. It has Dragon Fire. That's a funny spell. Not a very good spell, but it is a very funny spell, and because spells are so much better in this game, you could kind of hit funny spells now. Got separated again and end up fighting a Banished Knight camp by myself, which went fine until someone got greedy.
You greedy dirtbag!
Then for the reward, more runes. Sure. All of those stacking on each other have us like at a 33% rune boost. The castle has trolls, which sucks, but the basement has a red wolf, and that's very doable. Even if it jumps out of all of our attacks, but we just divide and conquer for the trolls, which stops them from throwing quite as many pots. It's Nile, Night 2, and our goons handle his goons. Dog, you're not gonna out-goon a human-sized doll woman. For Fulgore, we're acting like Little Miss Lightning, in that we miss with our lightning a lot. Miss. It did hit more than I'm making it seem like it did, but it also whiffed way more than I would like. It's supposed to be a basic good lightning spell, and it just sails over the boss's head like 20% of the time. First try win though, that's 5 of 6. One more of these bosses I was worried about. Turns out to be pretty easy. Now, let's see how our family handles the winter.
Deadly when I play a dope melody. Anything less than the best is a felony.
Our Caligo run starts off funky. No, it's a Regal Ancestor Spirit. Hopefully it just stays aggroed over there. I feel like they're not particularly aggressive. Nope, doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Okay. Can this thing at least maybe hit the Nox Warriors? I'm just trying to find a silver lining here. It can't, but we can level up right next to it and then run away. Not that I don't think we could beat it, I just think it would take too long at this level before we get upgrades for our damage. From the Fire Church, we get the Shoulder Tackle and,
That's a lot of damage!
I've dunked on the Crucible spells before because I don't think they're accurate, I don't think they hit hard enough, and usually they take too long to wind up to be useful. All of those issues are solved with, there are 2 other people here. Imagine using a Crucible spell against a Crucible Knight. It would miss a lot, but it would be funny. And Nightreign, again, affords you the opportunities to use the spells that are funny. The ones that just look cool. Sometimes they even kinda work now.
A package of sunshine and ravioli. If you want the thing you love.
You did it! Congratulations!
Yeah, so if you see a Crucible Knight in the castle, you're about to get paid. Call this gal Barry Jenga, the way she's stacking bills. Bill hater. Barry really is a great show. It's a testament to how great TV is now that it never won any Emmys, and I think it always lost to something that I would agree did deserve to win, because damn, it's like a 9 out of 10 show, and I think about,
Oh, wow.
at least once a week. Anyway, by the first mob, we have level 8 with 100,000 runes in the bank and the Halo Scythe, one of the best spellcasting focuses in the game, because even when you run out of magic, you still just have a long bleed stick. I hit Godric with a Crucible Tackle because he's a Crucible guy now, though. I kind of love the lore implications of that he could have just hit the Crucible tail at any time. Like he didn't need to graft to become powerful. The Crucible power was in him all along, but probably like Margit, he wanted to repress the forbidden aspects of himself. You know, crucibles and omens are kind of tied together and also tied to the ancient Erd Tree lore, despite being shunned by the new Erd Tree lore. I think it's interesting. And also, I think this version of Godric is so much more fun than Dragon Arm Boy. Up top in the castle, we get a Deathrite Bird, which I was worried about until I realized we have the best spellcasting seal in the game. Halo Scythe.
Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Like, I try hitting Wormface with Flame Sling because it's weaker to fire, but Halo Scythe just clears it in every aspect. Even in the game where I like spells, Ashes of War are standing on business. And then, Bubbles. This is like fucking perfect for me, actually. So bubbles are an extra augur fight, and when you beat it, you get a boost where your flasks heal your FP too, meaning we now have a method of FP recovery as the Revenant, and we get maxed out to level 15. Yeah, this one's gonna be pretty good. Remember that Regal Ancestor Spirit from day one? Well, we found it again, and we're a little more prepared for it. I haven't seen a deer die this fast since I watched Bambi. It was also the last time I watched Bambi. It wasn't too sad or anything, it's just a bit meandering. Like, it's the sort of movie to be like, didn't we animate this forest all cool? And like, yeah, sure you did, but what does that do for me? There are gorgeous movies where things happen. Everything we're fighting is now frosting, or not even frosting. It's like barbecue sauce that you put next to the cake. It doesn't even go on the cake, but I guess you just also had time to make some barbecue sauce. Godskins are the final boss for the night, and I hope you love getting shoulder tackled, you nerds. The Revenant probably weighs like 40 pounds or less, but that means nothing with face scaling. Maybe I should talk about why the Revenant's art is kind of mid. Yeah, because while I like Caligo, it's probably one of my favorite bosses in the game. This fight doesn't look particularly eventful. We don't have a great fire spell. I end up hugging the crotch and just hitting Flame Sling a lot. So basically my issue is the Revenant's ult is effectively a mass res. I know it also makes people immortal for a bit, but also, no it fucking doesn't. I've died and had allies die with the buff on so many times, it doesn't matter. It can also buff if you have the right crystals on, but like, is that it? Because sure, it's the best res in the game, that's neat, but if your team isn't dying, it doesn't help. And you just kind of hold it in case shit goes poorly. You know who else has an ult that can res? The Executor, the Recluse, Wilder, Raider, Iron Eye, Guardians also recharges twice as fast since the charge is halfway done every time you use it, and hell, Duchess can make everyone invisible and res pretty easily that way. But those ults can also help you end fights quicker, which is actually also a defensive move. I just don't think if you spend a bunch of your crystal space, you can get one Ghost Flame plop or put a team buff on it. I just don't think that's worth it. Put some like Rancor on it. That's what I thought it did the first time I used it, and I thought they all just missed. Keep the res, just make the Rancors kinda suck. Give the girl a reason to use her ult instead of just holding it forever, because I'm never using an ult if someone has less than 3 bars. Anyway, that was actually our second run, so we're at 5 of 7 for first clears. Can we make it to 6 of 8? Right away, we get the Millie prosthesis, which isn't for us. I think it would work well on Iron Eye for Packet, but I'm not totally sure if arrows proc the multi-hit talisman. I know they don't proc the Melania healing. Confirm or deny in the comments. Do that for the things I actually ask about. You don't need to explain shit to me that I know. Like when I'm in the video saying, why am I getting targeted so much? I'm not saying I don't understand how enemy targeting in the game works and need it explained to me like I'm a 5-year-old. I mean, this guy's targeting me instead of my allies. And that's annoying. Just in general, people don't love being explained things like, keep it to yourself until someone asks. That's a very basic social skill and will help you get 2 friends to play Nightreign with. Lord knows you know the mechanics. But sincerely, do bows work with sword insignia is a question I'm asking and an answer you could give. It would be helpful. Anyway, we have a holy spiked whip and I guess that's the best we're getting this run. Obviously, we win. Maybe one of these days I'll throw in a losing run to keep you on your toes. Actually, yeah. That's a good idea. Every video, I'm going to throw in one losing run so you don't know which one's the winner. Put a little suspense in there and make it longer so YouTube will throw 8 more ads in and we can make more money. Trolls are the worst castle encounter. We make it work with a whip as a baby who can't take hits. We're rewarded with a second spiky holy whip. Yeah, it's power stanced whips. Or a holy gargoyle axe with Craigblade. I do like me some Craigblade, even if it makes your weapon look violently ill, like it's having an allergic reaction to bad shrimp. It just makes me mad that an axe has a red particle effect like the Black Blade, but doesn't do Black Blade stuff. Like, why make 2 versions of the gargoyle weapons, but not make any of them unique? Our reward for Godric is... wow. They fucking hate me. Magma Worm on top of the church. We just get in that tain and start whipping. Doesn't everyone love a cool whip? It is stylish. It's just, so clearly bad. Each attack takes so much time, uses so much stamina. Power stancing reduces the effectiveness of the bleed buildup. And we get an Axe of Godric as our reward, which is quality scaling. God is so cruel to dolls sometimes. Ancestor Spirit gets shredded. Just watch all of that health drop. The team is doing well. I mean, someone has to be getting good drops. Speaking of, though, we get the Siluria tree. So now we have a holy spell. It's just a drill that will pierce the heavens. If I had a nickel for every time my Night Lord build was a spellcaster that uses Siluria's tree because nothing better dropped for me, I'd have 2 nickels, which is not a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. The rest of the run, we're just running around trying to find a better holy option and don't really find anything. Even worse, we have Radagon's icon. It would be so good if we had a holy spell like the Dickus of Light or 3 Dicks of Light at the same time. That would be great. Although, I guess we're back to the frenzied problem because there are only 3 holy spells that deal damage. Dicks, 3 Dicks, and Wrath of Gold. Oh well, we beat Dancer, get nothing, and commit to a Night Lord fight. Just hitting the woe. God, I feel old. Hitting the woe was like 4 years ago, and I looked it up, but still don't understand what it is. It doesn't seem to be about the dance or even the song that's playing. It's just like a bass note in songs. Like they're all doing different things in different songs, but there's always just a louder bass note that's like, whomp. Is that it? Anyway, Night Lord, we hit him with the spin until...
I saw this boat in half!
I ran out of Starlight Shards, but he's almost dead. Still spamming a bunch of cool-ass gravity attacks. I really like this guy as a final boss. I just hang out in the back since I have my ult. And, I need to be able to res the people who are still contributing to the fight. I can send my family in to fight. That, of course, includes Nocti and Packet, who helped out with this fight. In my Twitch community, we're really more like a family, less like a business. That's why nobody gets paid but me. Speaking of paying me, thanks for watching. You can support me on Patreon if you want to do that. Join us on Twitch if you want to come and stream these runs live with me. You can maybe hop in and get a win against a boss and be in the video. That'd be pretty neat. Check out Tulok the Card Baron if you like Magic the Gathering. That's where we're making some Magic the Gathering decks with commanders you hardly know. And also check out Tulok the Barbarian because, yep, we brought back building character. We're working on it slowly and taking our time so I don't burn out. All right, bye-bye, everyone.